Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing the Warcry Kharadron Overlords. Okay, let's do this. So the Kharadron Overlords, a big contrast to some of the other warbands we've seen, like the Corvus Cabal and the Untamed Beasts. These guys look a lot like steampunk. They've got completely different weapons and a completely different look. So it looks like we've got 8 different characters on the cover. And then looking at the back here, so we're going to get 3 like this, the Sky Warden and the Custodian. And it looks like you can choose between some features there. And then we've got 5 other miniatures, so 8 altogether, but with 23 different fighter types. So it looks like we're going to get lots of variety here, so this should be cool. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So these boxes are slightly bigger than the ones I'm used to, like the Iron Golems and those types. So I'll be interested to see what extras we get. And like those, if we get the little faction rune mark on the tab. Yeah, we do. There it is. And that's a really great rune mark. I love this. Okay. And so on the smaller sets, you're getting a tray, which was a nice touch that you pull out. But it looks like here it's just all in the box. But let's get it all out and see what we're going to get. So right away, there's a lot more here. So let's see what we've got. We've got our bases. So we've got 8 of those. We've got these little stands for the flying dudes. Got quite a few sprues here, just for 8 miniatures. There's our first one. So considering there's only 8 miniatures, and they're dwarfs, we've got 3 big sprues and 1 small one. Really interesting pieces here. Totally different to what I'm used to. And let's look at the bigger ones. Yeah, lots of guns. It's kind of weird to have guns in Warcry. And at first I thought, yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but the more I looked into the Kharadron Overlords, the more the idea kind of grew on me. And I love the idea of the flying ships coming into the 8 points. But here we go. These are really nice. I like these. And these look cool. There's some really interesting pieces there. I think that'd be fun to build and paint up for sure. So that's our sprues. And then get a nice pack here full of good stuff. So let's open that up and take a look. So with the other warbands, in the ones that were brought out first of all, we weren't getting these tokens. So it's nice to see these included. And you get two cardboard full of tokens. And these are our objection markers. So we're getting 2 of those. I'm really looking forward to making some objection markers on some 50mm bases. So look out for videos for those coming soon. I think it'd be really cool to have actual 3D versions for all these. I think that'd look great. So that's our token cards. And here's our instruction book. And I've really got to get used to these names. These Grundstock Thunderers have each got different names for the different fighter type. And they're really cool names actually. And the book's quite thick. So let's have a look through. So here we are. Let's look for where we're getting these variations. So these are the Sky Wardens. They're the end riggers. And I guess you can kind of mix and match whichever ones you want. I like these spears, they're really good. And this guy's got a harpoon, different attachments. That's going to be fun to learn about those. Here we are. So we're seeing lots of different faces that we can choose. And look at all this. Look at all those. Wow. So lots of details here. Lots of options. So it looks like, even though there's only 8 miniatures, you can really customise the warband to how you like to play and stylise it, how you like it. I also guess there's going to be a lot left over to use for other things like objective markers and things like that. Man, these weapons are mental. So cool. Look at that, it looks like a bazooka. There we are. There's so many different weapons, and then a nice colour guide there. I noticed the colour guides don't generally include like the contrast paints, which is what I'm kind of using as a beginner painter. But this kind of gives you an idea of how you can base, shade and layer up the different elements. So that's our instruction book. Okay, let's take a look at the ability and fighter cards. So we're getting all the different languages here. Lots of the same. We only need the English, so I'll get rid of these. And it shows us here we're getting 3 options. We're getting Sky Riggers, Arcanaut Company and Grundstock Thunderers. So I wonder if we can make these perhaps not looking at them. So we're looking at choosing between these sides, but we'll see when we go through the fighter cards there. And I'm really looking forward to looking at the abilities, but we'll look at those as we go through each of the different fighters. And now we'll check out the fighter cards. So it's a bit of a shame, this top card, I don't know if you can see it, just got some marks there from the sprues. That's a pity, but no big deal, that's okay. And look how many we get. Good grief, there's a lot of cards there. And these are one of the, even though there's only 8 models, these are one of the more expensive packs at £40 RRP. I managed to get them for £34 with a discount at Element Games, and I'll put a link below in the description so you can pick that up too. But this is a lot of cards, so let's work our way through and we'll go through each fighter type and then check out their abilities too. Okay, so I've split these up into 4 packs. We've got our duplicate cards. So these are if you have like more than one of the same character or fighter type card, you can use this to keep track of each of them. So we'll put those out of the way. These are going to be for the Arcanaut Company that don't come in the pack, but you can pick these up. I think they're £30 RRP. Again, at Element Games, you're going to get a discount. But I'll pop a link down in the description to those too. So if you did want to pick those up, you can take a look at them. So I think if you wanted to get the Arcanaut Company to make sure you can play all the characters off here, then you'd be looking at 34 plus 25, £26. So for £60, you've got every single fighter then. And for 23 different fighter type cards, that's not bad. I mean, if you wanted to play more of these guys, the end ring riggers or the Sky Wardens, then you're going to need another pack. So it could get expensive if you're having lots of these, but then at 1,000 points going up to 1,1400 for the campaign, you're not really going to fit many of these in anyway. So there's lots of options, but yeah, so you could just stick with this, which is what I'm going to do. Or you could expand it and certainly get that Arcanaut Company and perhaps another Warcry set too. So let's start with the Arcanaut Company and we'll work from the lowest points character up to the highest. And so starting here at 65 points. So we don't have the names on these, so just looking at the pictures, he is one of the Arcanaut Company, and he'll be like one of the just regular fighters at the lowest entry point. And he's got a movement of 3, he can take 12 damage with a toughness 3, and this guy's got a ranged weapon here with 8, and he can make 2 attacks with a strength 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. And then he's also got an axe here, so that's a range of 1 up close. Make 3 attacks with this, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. And he's got no special abilities, but he does have his rune mark, so we can look at the Warband rune mark here, and we see that every member of the Warband is going to get on a double Ancestral Fortitude. Until the end of the battle round, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of this fighter. So that's going to be every single member of the warband's going to get that. Nothing too exciting, but it does make him a little bit tougher, and you would expect with all this armour, and he's a dwarf, that he's going to be tough, you know, so it kind of makes sense for that. And of course you get the abilities that are accessible to any fighter from any warband that's featured in the core rulebook too. So that's our first one, and now we're picking things up a bit more with 80 points, and got a movement 3, can take 12 damage, toughness 3, and he's got a spear which looks awesome, and that's a range of 2. He can make 3 attacks, which is a bit stronger, so that's strength 4, and he can do 2 to 5 on a crit. So for 80 points to do 2 to 5 damage with 3 attacks is pretty tough. And his ability there, he's going to get that Ancestral Fortitude on a double, but nothing else. On to our third Arcanaut Company fighter, and again a few more points now, 95, and we're getting the same 3 movement. Can take 12 damage, toughness 3, and he can go up to 3 to 20 range, 2 attacks, strength 4, again 2 to 5 on a crit, so pretty tough. And he's also got another weapon up close, so I guess he can just use this and like stab it in. So he's got a range of 1, just 2 attacks there, just strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So you definitely want to be using this one. And for 95 points, again 2 to 5, pretty good. And here's another one, our 4th member of the Arcanaut Company. And at 105 points, we're getting movement 3, again 12 damage with toughness 3, a little bit less range, 3 to 15, but still a lot of range across this board. I mean, here's the board here. You can see it's not that big. So if you're getting 15 range there, and 6 attacks, which is crazy. Strength 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. And he's also can, is that punch? Yeah, that's like a fist. So that's a range of 1. Make 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So for 105 points, you've got a great range, and you've got 6 attacks. This could be pretty devastating, but just with the 1 rune mark there, he's only going to get, like all the others, the Ancestral Fortitude. And now we've got our 5th and final Arcanaut Company fighter. And so this is going to be our leader. This is the leader rune mark here. And he's got the same movement of 3, but he can take a bit more now, 22 damage, and he's tougher with a toughness of 4. His kind of gun there's got a range of 8. He can make 3 attacks, strength 3, only 1 to 3 damage, and then he's got his axe, so he can, with a range of 1, he can make 4 attacks with this, strength 3, dealing 2 to 4. So not that damaging. You really want to be using the axe here, I think, with this guy. But let's see what that leadership rune mark is. So again, he gets the double just for being a member of the Warband, Ancestral Fortitude. And then here we go. So on a triple, fight for profit. Until the end of the battle round, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of attack actions made by friendly fighters within 6 inches of this fighter. If this fighter is carrying treasure or was in 3 inches of an objective, add 2 to the attack's characteristic instead. So I guess once they get near that treasure, they all kind of get more serious, get more focused, and they're going to get 2 to their attack characteristics, kind of so they can fight their way out and escape with that treasure, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I think that really fits in with the narrative of these guys. I really like that. So that's great. So that's our leader for the Arcanaut Company, and that's all the cards now for that Arcanaut Company. Alright, next we're going to look at the Grundstock Thunderers, and these are, again, the ones that are included in the pack. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fighter types, and we get 5 miniatures included. So a little bit of variation there, and let's take a look at those. So starting with the lowest points here, I'm going to use the names from the back of the box. This one is our Grundstock Thunderer with Aether shot rifle. And this guy, he looks a little bit different to the box, so I guess in that extra card's going to be for him. So this one at 115 points. Looks like they're all getting a kind of movement of 3, can take 12 damage. He's a bit tougher, toughness 4. He's got an extra ability which is great. We'll check that out in a minute. With his gun there, he's got a range of 3 to 15, 2 attacks with a strength 4, dealing 2 to 4 on a crit. So I guess with his gun, or he can punch you, he's got a range of 1, can make 2 attacks with a strength 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. He looks pretty cool, and he's got the banner there. But let's check out this ability. So again, they've all got the double Ancestral Fortitude. And this one here is a triple, and it's called Keep Your Distance. A fighter can use this ability only if they are within 3 inches of an enemy fighter. This fighter makes a bonus disengage action. Okay, so if they're within 3 inches of an enemy fighter, after they've used their attacks, they can make that bonus disengage action, and they can move away. So, not too exciting, but I guess they want to be like, with keeping the range, they've got that range anyway, but they've got to be close to use it. So, yeah, it's okay. But that's our Grundstock Thunderer with Aether Shot Rifle. And next we've got our Grundstock Thunderer with a gun called the Deck Sweeper. And this looks mad. It's got 4 barrels, so it's going to take lots of shots and do some damage here. And he's a little bit more, at 130, and he's got a movement of 3, can take 12 damage, toughness 4, range 3 to 10, can make 5 attacks this time with a strength 4, and he's dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. So lots of attacks as you'd expect from a weapon like this Deck Sweeper. He can also get up close and just smack you one, so that's a range of 1, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3. So you don't want to be using that as too much. I think for 130 points, you want to be making the most of this weapon here. And let's check out his abilities. So he gets the double Ancestral Fortitude and that triple Keep Your Distance. So they're really about getting in, taking the shots, and then moving back, I guess, and getting that treasure, and then kind of working their way out, and I guess back to their airship so they can escape. So these are very much narrative driven, I think. So there we go. That's our Grundstock Thunderer with Deck Sweeper. And it looks like there may be a few variations on the attachments, but the gun is the gun. So that's that one. Now we've got a Grundstock Thunderer with Aetheric Fumigator. So is this like a gas weapon? Let me know if you know in the comments below. I guess he's shooting out gas out of this, which is kind of fun. And he's 130 points, a little bit. No, he's the same as the previous one. He's got movement 3, can take 12 damage with toughness 4. He's got the same rune marks as the previous as well. His range isn't quite as far, but still not bad with 6. Making 3 attacks with a strength 5, nice. Dealing 2 to 4 on a crit. So pretty tough. You're getting some decent strength there. 2 to 4 is good, and with a nice range. And then with this ability of Ancestral Fortitude, adding to that toughness, and the triple Keep Your Distance, he can kind of make that bonus disengage action each time. So he's always coming in with range or getting up close and then moving back. So yeah, quite interesting. There we go. And next we've got this fighter. Now he's not named on the back of the box here, but I think he is an alternative to this Grundstock Thunderer with Aether Shot Rifle. So we've got a different weapon there. I'll have to find out what the name is. Again, if you know, please add it in the comments. It'd be great to find out what that is. But it looks like some kind of rocket launcher, bazooka, RPG. It looks mad anyway, and fun, so that's cool. And he's a little bit more, at 145 points. And he's got movement 3, can take 12 damage with a toughness 4. He's got a range of 3 to 10. And he has 3 attacks with strength 4, dealing 3 to 6 on a crit. So that's cool. 3 to 6, that's a lot. 145 points, nice. And again, he can get up close, hit with his gun or his fist. And so he's got a range of 1, just 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3. So with this guy, you really want to be using that at range. And then the abilities, the double Ancestral Fortitude and the rune mark for the triple Keep Your Distance there. So that's that guy. And now we've got a Grundstock Thunderer with Aether Cannon. And this is a fun looking model again. Really interesting weapon there. I guess this is going to do some serious damage with 175 points. So we've got movement 3. It can take 12 damage with toughness 4. Our range is 3 to 10. 2 attacks with a strength 5, dealing 4 to 8 on a crit. So this is getting really high now, 4 to 8 on a crit, only 2 attacks, but with that strength 5, that's crazy. And then I guess if you can link him up with the leader and use the ability that adds 2 to the attacks characteristic instead, whoa, that's going to be a serious player. He's also got this ability up close, range 1, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3. So I guess this, if they get too close, he's got a backup, but this is what you want to be unleashing on the enemy. That's insane. So, and here we are, he gets his abilities, the double Ancestral Fortitude and Keep Your Distance. And now we're on to the final card for the Grundstock Thunderers, and this is going to be our leader. You can see he's got the leader rune mark here. He's also got another extra one as well, so that's going to be cool. And at 195 points, it's not bad for a leader generally. He's got movement 3. He's really takes some damage here at 22 with a toughness 4. He's got a range of 3 to 15. Can make 4 attacks at a strength 4 with 2 to 4, 4 and a crit. So this is pretty good. 4 attacks, dealing 2 to 4 with that. And then up close again, he can have a range of 1, making 3 attacks, strength 3, dealing 1 to 4 on a crit. So a little bit higher there with that 4. But again, you want to be using this range. But let's see his abilities. So we know about Ancestral Fortitude now and Keep Your Distance. But we've got 2 more. And this one here is a double called Harrying Drill Bill. Pick an enemy fighter within 20 inches of this fighter. Until the end of the battle round, that fighter cannot make disengage actions. Okay, that's pretty cool. So he can keep his range there within 20 inches and they cannot make disengage actions. So I wonder if you could use that to stop them getting to cover and then just keep bombarding them with this weapon. And at just a double, you can keep them out in the open while you move your other characters in. So I guess he would be good for like Overwatch maybe, if you're going for an objective. That's quite cool. And then he's got the leadership one, which we haven't seen yet. Or have we? Yes, we have. We saw it on the other guys, didn't we? But anyway, let's go over that again. So it's fight for profit. Until the end of the battle round, add 1 attack characteristic of attack actions made by friendly fighters within 6 inches of this fighter. If this fighter is carrying treasure or within 3 inches of an objective, add 2 to the attacks characteristics instead. So if you can get them all quite together close around an objective, these are going to be dealing out some serious damage on their attacks. So some really fun abilities here, and for 195 points, that's a really interesting lead. But we've got to move on to the bigger, badder models, so let's check those out next. Man, this is a fighter type marathon. We've got so many cards to go through, which is great. So let's start now with our Sky Wardens and Custodians. And here we go. These look like they're going to be an End Rin Rigger. So for 170 points, this is our lowest one. And here we've got a movement of 10, 16 damage with a toughness 4. Straight away we're getting 2 faction rune marks there, and these 2 extra ones. So we've got movement of 10, takes 16 damage with a toughness 4. 2 extra runes as well as the rune mark for the Warband. But let's have a look at the weapons. So we've got this kind of harpoon weapon, which has got a range of 3 to 20, just 2 attacks, quite a low strength at 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. And then he can also get up close if needs to with 1 range, dealing 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So I'm guessing this weapon has to be linked with an ability to do a bit more, because that's not very high. So it's got to have an ability tied in there. So let's see what that is. So we've got the double Ancestral Fortitude, and now we've got another double, which is the Grapnal Launcher. A fighter can use this ability only if they are more than 3 inches from any enemy fighters. Pick a point on an obstacle within 20 inches of this fighter. Remove this fighter from the battlefield and then immediately set them on the battlefield within 3 inches of the point picked. Okay, so let's just process that. So they're going to, with all these fighters, it looks like we've got to keep our distance. That's the idea, and back away. So staying 3 inches away is not going to be a problem. So if they want to go in, do an attack, or maybe just leave, they can use that ability to get out of there. So imagine if they're going in to pick up an objective and they grab it and they need to leave, these guys are going to run away pretty fast, and then with the others covering them, that's a pretty cool ability, and certainly even just to use to move them around the battlefield really quickly. So tactically, that's really interesting. And they've also got the fly rune mark. So there we go, that's the first one of our Endrin Riggers. Okay, now this one looks like it's one of the Sky Wardens here, looking at the images, and for 175 points, we're looking like we're getting quite a lot here. So we've got a movement 10, can take 16 damage with a toughness 4. We've got our rune mark, and then 3 others, so we know we can fly, and then we've got the 2 extras as well. And our weapons, we've got another harpoon weapon here, and that's range of 3 to 20, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 damage, and again we can go up close with a range of 1, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So let's have a look at the abilities. We've got a new one there. So we've got the double ancestral fortitude, we've got the fly rune mark, we've got the grapnel launcher that we just went through on the previous fighter, but now we've got this one, which is a quad, and it's called time charges. A fighter can use this ability only if they are within 3 inches of an enemy fighter. Allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability to enemy fighters within 1 inch of this fighter. Then this fighter makes a bonus disengage action. Okay, so it looks like we can get in close, set off this time charge, and then allocate a number of damage equal to the value of this ability. So if you're rolling 5s or 6s, any enemy fighters within 1 inch of that fighter is going to take those damage points, and then they can make a bonus disengage action too. So they can go in, set off the explosions, deal out some damage, and then get out of there quick, sharpish to escape. So that's pretty fun. And for 175 points, that's a lot there, and that's not even our leader. So we're getting bigger and better as we go along. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, we're getting there now. I hope you're bearing with me. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to go. So this is cool. So if you like the fighter type cards like me, you're going to love this set. There's so many in here. Okay, so here we go. We've got another Sky Warden, and we're looking at 200 points, and we've got a movement of 10, toughness of 4, and can take 16 damage. And we've got the flight rune mark, and his weapon here, range of 8, 2 attacks, toughness 3, and 1 to 3 on a crit. But this looks like the main weapon that we're going to be using here, which is a spear of some kind, and he's got a range of 2, strength 3 attacks, strength 4, can deal 2 to 5 on a crit. So let's check out his abilities. So this guy gets the ancestral fortitude on a double, and he also gets the time charges. So I wonder if they're all going to get the time charges, these guys. We'll find out. Okay, that's that one. And now we've got another Endrin Rigger at 200 points, and he's got movement 10, can take 16 damage, toughness 4, can fly, so no extra ones, and he's got this kind of gun here with like 5 barrels, and he's got a range of 3 to 15, 6 attacks, which you'd expect from this kind of weapon. He can strength of 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. And for 200 points, that seems low, but I guess with 6 attacks and that range, it's pretty useful. And again, up close, range of 1, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So no extra abilities. And for 200 points, you're really looking at, again, some Overwatch there, keeping the range and keeping the pressure on while you move your other fighters in for the prize. Cool, that's that one. So as the points go up, we're going back and forth between the Sky Wardens and the Endrin Riggers. And now we've got another Sky Warden here, again with this gun here. And he's got movement 10, can take 16 damage, toughness 4. He's got the flight ability and 1 extra here. And he's got range of 3 to 15. Again, 6 attacks, which is lovely. 3 strength, 1 to 3 on a crit, and up close, range of 1, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. And just to make sure we cover his ability, he gets that time charge on a quad as well. So I guess with a quad, you're going to have to decide who you use it and when, which one uses it as the game goes through. So lots of options for tactics there, and these guys look like they're going to be great fun to play. And now back to our Endrin Riggers. So the points are going up 205, no extra abilities. So we've got movement 10, 16 damage, toughness 4, and 3 to 20 range, 2 attacks, strength 4, dealing 3 to 5 now. So 5 on a crit, this is better. Up close, 1 range, 3 strength, 2 attacks, 1 to 3 on a crit. So that's that guy. And now we've got another Endrin Rigger at 205 with again same range of 10, movement of 10 with 16 damage and 4 toughness, just the flight ability. He's got a range of 8 for his weapon, can make 2 attacks, strength 4, dealing 1 to 4 on a crit. And then he's got this kind of chainsaw blade here, which is a range of 1, 3 attacks, strength 5, dealing 2 to 5 on a crit. So I think these are the ones you want to get up close and fight in amongst it, dealing those kind of 2 to 5 on a crit with 5 strength. That's really cool. So that's that guy, no extra abilities now. Now we've got our next Sky Warden at 210 points. We're starting to see a bit more damage, I think, being dealt out here. So he's got a movement of 10, he can take 16 hits, toughness 4, he's got some extra ability there, 3 to 5 range with his weapon, another harpoon kind of looking weapon, make 2 attacks, 4 strength, 3 to 5 on a crit. And again up close, just 1 range, 2 attacks, and then low with a strength of 3, dealing 1 to 3 on a crit. And that ability, just to go over it, that he gets is again the quad with the time charge. So although he's got the harpoon, he's not getting that grapnel launcher there, but he does have the time charge. Our next Endrin Rigger is very similar to the previous Sky Warden, 210 points with the flight ability, movement 10, 16 damage, toughness 4, range of 3 to 20. He's got an extra attack, so he's got 3 attacks, strength 5, bit stronger, dealing 2 to 4 on a crit. So a little bit lower there on the crit, but with 3 attacks and stronger, he's got a better chance of hitting there. And again, up close, he can do that. 1 range, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So there we are, and no extra abilities, so nothing particularly special about this weapon, but some nice stats there. Now we're moving up the pecking order a little bit, and with our next Sky Warden, we've got 220 points, movement 10, 16 damage, toughness 4. We've got the time charge ability there, and the flight ability, like they'll all have the flight ability. And we've got a range of 3 to 20, 3 attacks, strength 5, 2 to 4 on a crit. And then here up close, 1 with 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3. So again, nothing particularly standing out about this character, but we're getting that extra strength and attack. And he's going to come with that time charge too. So that's that one. And now we're on to the final 2 cards, and these are both going to be our leaders. So you can choose the Sky Warden leader here, or the Endrin Rigger leader. So let's go with the Sky Warden leader, and he's 260 points. He's got the same movement of 10, a lot tougher now. He can take 26 damage, and he's toughness 4. He's got the leadership ability, and he's got some extra ones that we've seen already. And his kind of spear now is here, range of 2. This is his main weapon with 4 attacks, strength 4, dealing 2 to 5 on a crit. But then he's also got this other one, which is a range of 8 with 2 attacks, strength 3, 1 to 3 on a crit. So you've got a little option there of getting up close with your main weapon, or standing back with a ranged weapon. And then just to go over the abilities, we've got the leadership ability, which is the triple fight for profit, and he also gets the time charge and the flight as well. So he's coming with lots of abilities to choose from, and that's our leader for the Sky Warden. And finally, we've got our leader for the Endrin Riggers, and he's the most expensive points-wise at 265, and he gets a movement 10. Again, he gets that 26 damage that he can take with a toughness of 4. He's got the leadership ability and the flight. And for him, it looks like this is his main weapon, this sword, kind of chain blade, if you like. Range of 1, 4 attacks, which is nice. Strength 5, dealing 2 to 5 damage. And he's also got the ranged weapon, range of 8, 2 attacks, strength 4, dealing 1 to 4 on a crit. And then that ability is the leadership triple, fight for profit. And that's our final card, and the Endrinrigger Leader. Okay, that's it for our Kharadron Overlords. And I think for the money, you're getting a lot of cards here. You're getting, it doesn't seem a lot at just 8 models, but I think for the kind of uniqueness of them, and the amount of fighter types and abilities and tactics you're going to get to play, I think this works out better value than I thought it was going to be fair. While they're not the sort of warband I would typically be drawn to, I think after seeing the fighter cards and their abilities and tactics and how they're all about going in for that treasure, getting it and then escaping, and how you can use them to like dart around the battlefield, keeping a range but also diving in and letting off those time charges and then escaping, I think that's going to be really fun to play. I think it's going to be a real cool contrast to take a warband like these Kharadron Overlords against my favourite, the Corvus Cabal, or someone like the Untamed Beast. They're so completely opposite ends of the scale. I think when they come together, it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. So I hope this video's helped you and given you a good insight into what you're going to get in this pack. It's a longer video because there's so many fighter type cards, so if you stuck with it, thanks so much. I hope it helps you out. I'll put a link in the description where you can go to Element Games to pick these up. Again, all my links are affiliate links, or most of them are affiliate links, and they don't cost you anything. In fact, they're going to save you money, like 20% saving at Element Games. And for every sale through an affiliate link, I get a small commission, and that's going to help me develop the channel and start providing much more content for Warcry. And thanks so much for that support. Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like the video, subscribe for more Warcry content like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.